Good afternoon. It's Justin Stevens and Peter O'Keefe. Welcome to our first quarterly call for 2016. We appreciate you taking the time to join us on the call today. All of the lines have been placed on listen-only mode, and we won't be fielding any live questions on today's call. But if you do have questions you'd like to ask us, please send them to Carly via an email at csidlowski@sageready.com. So we're looking forward to answering your individual questions in a one-on-one format, but today our call is going to deviate from our traditional format because we have the opportunity to have a guest with us on the line. We're being joined by the president of Third Avenue's David Resnick, and David is going to spend some time with us answering some questions that we've gotten over the past few months. Before we get started, we just want to remind you that the purpose of today's call is educational and that the material presented is publicly available information from sources that we believe to be reliable. But this information and this slideshow may change at any time and without notice. Furthermore, this presentation is not intended to provide specific advice to any individual's personal circumstances. You should always consult your accountant, attorney, or financial advisor based on your own individual situation. So this call is available for replay on the O'Keefe & Stevens resource page, which can be found at the Sage Ready website. Please contact Carly if you'd like a link to the recording of this call or previous calls. So for our call today, we're being joined by David Resnick, the president of Third Avenue Funds. Third Avenue is a New York-based global asset manager that has adhered to a proven value investment philosophy since its founding in 1986. Third Avenue's disciplined approach seeks to maximize long-term, risk-adjusted returns by focusing on corporate financial stability and price consciousness and opportunistic security selection throughout the capital structure. So the agenda for our call today will be dedicated to allowing David to take us through a recap of the Third Avenue funds that many of you own in your portfolios. Specifically, David is going to touch on 4 key areas in our call. The first is the unique set of issues that Third Avenue's Focused Credit Fund faced in December 2015. The second is the 4 other funds managed by Third Avenue. The third thing that we want to talk about is how the business of Third Avenue has fared through the first quarter of 2016. And then finally, and where we want to spend most of our time talking, is how the current environment that we're in is presenting opportunities for value investors. As you know, Peter and I have been in many discussions with the managers at Third Avenue, both recently and throughout the 5 years that we've been investing in the funds. Our thought today is that it would be helpful and informative to have a facilitated discussion with David Resnick so you can hear directly from management as well. We've incorporated many of the questions you've asked us in our calls today, and hopefully this format will provide you with insights and confidence into your investments with Third Avenue. If you are a client that doesn't own the Third Avenue funds, our hope today is that this call will be interesting as a matter of understanding our process for evaluating value-oriented investments, and will provide you the opportunity to understand how today's market is presenting opportunities to own many well-managed businesses with strong finances at discounted prices. So Peter's going to be moderating the conversation with David, and we'll be reviewing questions from our prior conversations. If you're listening to this presentation online, you'll be able to see the questions displayed on the screen as they are asked. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Peter.
Thank you, Justin. And thank you, David, for being with us today. As a team, we appreciate your willingness to be open and as transparent as you can. That being said, I also acknowledge for the sake of our listeners that some information is not publicly available, and therefore we may not be able to provide all answers to all questions asked. We'll be doing our best to make this a discussion that encompasses all aspects of the Third Avenue Fund and hopefully focuses on developing a better relationship and understanding of the value-oriented investment approach that Third Avenue follows. So, David, with that being said, I think it would make the most sense to allow you a moment to address our audience and to introduce yourself and describe the business you run.
Great. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, Justin, for inviting me to join your quarterly call with clients. We appreciate the long-term relationship Third Avenue's had with your firm and our ongoing dialogue about our portfolios, particularly over the past few months. As many of you know, Third Avenue is a value investing firm founded in 1986 by the storied value investor Marty Whitman. Our firm adheres to Marty's value investing philosophy, seeking to maximize long-term risk-adjusted returns using original research and focusing on well-capitalized, out-of-favor, often misunderstood, undervalued companies, buying them at attractive prices to create differentiated portfolios. I joined Third Avenue in 2012, although the tenure of most of my colleagues on our management committee, and there are 4 other members, is about 15 years. Previously, I spent 27 years in investment banking in management roles toward the end of my career, and I came to Third Avenue to broaden the management team and help with our business strategy and development.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Our first question relates to the most recent news about the Third Avenue Focused Credit Fund, announcing their decision to close the fund and suspend redemptions. While the media has provided us with a colorful array of what happened at Third Avenue to lead to such a decision, we think it would be useful to hear from you what actually happened leading to the decision. Could you give us a synopsis of this, David?
Yes, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak directly to your clients about this. December was without question a difficult time for Third Avenue, and some of the press coverage we received was not helpful and in certain cases not even accurate. While we deeply regret the decision to suspend redemptions from the Focused Credit Fund, we firmly believe that we acted in the best interests of our